Oh, good afternoon, my friends. Good afternoon. Hang on just a minute. Just gotta finish setting up the rest of this crap. Let's see, do that, and that, and that, and that. Okay, good. Okay, now we're ready to go. Let's see. Wednesday afternoon live, episode 34. And I'm the only one in here. That's okay. I'm sure at least one or two people will show up. If they don't, this will be a 5-minute stream and I'll shut it down and, y'all missed out, right? So let's see. Sorry I'm late today. I normally stream at noon. Excuse me. But I had a doctor's appointment this afternoon. Late morning anyway. Was told by my how's it going, Ballard? Was told by my physician that I'm allowed to live for another 6 months or until my insurance bill is paid for, whichever comes first. And he'll see me in May of 2021. Let's see. Got my flu shot. Let's see. See? Wait a minute. Should be a Band-Aid there. No, there isn't. Yeah, there's one up there. Got my flu shot, my non-political flu shot, my non-controversial flu shot that was created by Orange Man Bad and all that. Just a regular flu shot for the regular flu that we've been fighting since 1918. So that's done. And when the other flu shot comes out, I'll go back to him and get one. Although I don't think I'll get the first run. I think the first run is just for the elderly and the first responders and the medical people. Then general population. I think that's the way it's supposed to go. But when that shot's available, I'll go get it. Let's see. Razorback fan number 1 is here. Thank you. He's congratulating me on the Florida victory over his team, which is the Arizona Razorbacks. Yeah, we've got a hell of an offense, that is for sure. Unfortunately, we don't have a hell of a defense. Let's face it, we gave up 35 points in that game, and 35 points should be good enough for anybody to win, really. I mean, you can't keep doing that. I mean, if I look back, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Oh wait, I have screen sharing capability. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Let me pull this up real quick here. Hang on. Where's my sports? There they are. Gator Zone. Okay. Let's see. Schedule. Yes. Nagging me about schedules. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Now let me share the screen here real quick. If I can make that happen. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see the schedule? I hope. Let's go through this real quick. Let's see. First game we gave up 35 points to Old Piss. Then we give up 24 points to the Shamecocks. We give up 41 points and a loss to the Fighting Jimbos. LSU's postponed. Then Our defense wakes up ever so briefly to only allow 17 points by the Missouri Putty Cats. Give up 28 points to Georgia with quarterback problems, and we give up 35 points to Bacon Bits. I don't really want to do the addition and subtraction, but that looks like an average of something like, 30 odd points a game we're averaging giving up. That's not good. I mean, if we go and play Alabama in the SEC championship game, we're screwed. We can't give up 30 points to Alabama with that defense that they have, which is a pretty good defense. Certainly as good as Georgia's defense. I mean, yeah, we managed to overcome Georgia's defense, but Georgia's defense was down some players. I don't know what Alabama's defense is right now, but if we can't tighten up our defense, we're in big trouble again in the SEC championship game. The next 3 games that we have, I mean, I think we can pretty much figure we're not playing LSU this year. And despite what some people want to troll with and say that we're managing to avoid playing LSU, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's such a weak attempt at getting under a Florida a Gator fan's skin. It's not even worth acknowledging, really, but I'll acknowledge it. We're not trying to avoid anyone. That's just silly. But I don't think we're playing LSU. I think they'll probably be making that game up against Bama. So we got 3 games coming. We should win them all. But, we've got a problem on defense still, I'm not happy. Anyway, enough of that. Ballard, I can't really disagree per se. I mean, I can't disagree that Florida has to be concerned about Alabama's defense being able to shut us down, and we have to be concerned about our defense not being able to shut Alabama down. I mean, Alabama. I mean, it's not like playing Georgia. Georgia is more one-dimensional, and this is not. I'm not trying to be trolling here. I'm not trying to be nasty about it, but Georgia is a one-dimensional team in comparison to Alabama. Alabama's got a quarterback. Georgia doesn't. With the exception of 1 or 2 plays against Georgia, we were able to stop their running game pretty well. And that was one of the big contributing factors to winning the game. The problem is Alabama is not one-dimensional. They have a good running game. They have a good passing attack, and they have a good defense. So Florida definitely has its work cut out for them. I still think it's going to be a good game. I still think Florida has a chance. But Florida better tighten that defense up a hell of a lot more between now. We got a month. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's see. Well, Ballard, Bama might be a little more prepared, but then again, I mean, I can flip that around a little bit and say that Alabama has not played a offense like Florida's. So Florida can stretch a defense. So maybe Alabama should be a little worried about us. I'm certainly worried about Alabama. Alabama needs to be worried about Florida because Florida is not going to just roll over and die just because the great Satan shows up. Okay? This ain't 2016. This is not the 2016 Gators. This is the 2020 Gators. The 2020 Gators can move the ball. So, and oh, by the way, I've noticed that the super comedian Funny Mane, he ain't got nothing to say in the past 2 weeks about Florida. He skipped the whole week that Florida played in the cocktail party. He didn't even make a video that week. And then last week, with 3 games in the SEC, he didn't mention the Florida game one time. He mentioned the Vandy game, the Vandy-Kentucky game, and he mentioned the South Carolina? Whoever the other game was. He didn't mention Florida game. Not a word. So I wonder if Funny Mane is worried about the Florida Gators. Possibly. Kevin's here with the strangest username type out that I've ever seen. I always wonder what the backstory was about why Kevin makes that name so crazy looking, but good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Razorback says he likes how Mullen, our head coach, uses our running backs. I like the way he uses the running backs too, but I wish he would use the running backs for more running. Our offense is passing to set up the run. I might be a little old school, but I always thought it was running to set up the pass. But yeah, at least our running backs are good receivers out of the backfield. That keeps the linebackers honest. So at least they're talented. I think Kyle Pitts. Well, I'm pretty sure Kyle Pitts is not playing against Vandy. He's still in concussion protocol. And no, I don't think the hit that Pitts took was a dirty hit. I mean, I have been asked that on and off in various places. I don't think that hit was intentionally dirty. It was a vicious hit. It lit them both up pretty good. But I don't think the Georgia player was trying to hurt Pitts. I mean, if he was, shame on him. He should be out of the game. I mean, out for the season. But I don't think it didn't look like a cheap shot. But I think, Mullen is right to be cautious about Pitts. I don't think he's playing against Vandy. I could be wrong. I've heard that he's not playing against Vandy, but we'll have him back for Kentucky, which worries me a little bit. Kentucky can put points up. I don't know if they can play defense, but Kentucky proved at least, they proved it in the Tennessee game anyway. The Georgia game, they didn't do shit, but Kentucky seems to think that they have the Gators' number now for some reason. You win once in 35 years, and now all of a sudden you have confidence. But Kentucky coming into the swamp worries me, and Tennessee still worries me. Tennessee to me is like that wounded animal sitting in the corner that's hurt. And it's not 100%, but it's still dangerous. And you don't want to screw with it. So Tennessee makes me nervous. We'll see what happens. Because the Vol Nation is going to get all spun up for Florida. They always do. And, of course, I fully expect in all the various forums I'm in, with Tennessee people in it, that they're going to be all jacked up because, Lou said if Florida loses to Tennessee, we're going to see the resurrection of General Voltard. So, that could really amp up the fan base too, couldn't it? I mean, just think about that. Oh, let's see. Where are we at? Yeah, you're right, Razorback. Running backs that can receive are headaches for defenses. Ballard, that's a good point. It could end up being a shootout between two of the two top Heisman candidates, and the Heisman doesn't get decided until after that game. So this is a chance for Jones to make his case and Trask to make his case. So we shall see. We shall definitely see. Space Mountain is here with the thumbs up. Neo's here. Good to see you. Great. Now I got two gumps in the chat section. You know, it's amazing to me. I never get. I really need to get some more gators in here. I'm always up against 2 or 3 gumps, 2 or 3 dogs, and 2 or 3 Voltards. You know, no gators around here, for God's sake. Yeah, Kevin, that's a good point. They both seem to be putting their heads down, which I guess you're not supposed to do. But I got to say the defender got as bad as he gave. So I hope he's okay. And by the way, I hope that receiver, I forgot his name. I think it was number 81, who scored that touchdown and then broke his ankle. I mean, I saw that ankle the minute he held that leg up, and I saw underneath the sock, I saw that something sticking up. I said, oh, that's no good. And then one of his players came to go, you know, gave him high fives, and the receiver was pointing to his ankle, and all of a sudden that guy, you know, was going to celebrate with him down on the ground. All of a sudden, he backed off like that. But have you heard anything about that player? Is he going to be okay? I mean, that was I've broken my ankle before. That's a bad injury. So I hope he's going to be okay. Yeah, Roseme or something like that. Yeah. I hope he recovers. Let's see. Georgia Ballard, the Georgia player. This is a couple of weeks ago. Let's see. Alabama gets Kentucky this week. Yeah, that's a real challenge. You just want to get out of the Kentucky game healthy is what you're looking for. Just like Florida. Florida playing at Vandy. All Florida really needs to do is get the victory and get out of Nashville in one piece. You know, don't hurt any of the critical players. I don't know what the most combined points in an SEC game, championship game is, but Bama, Florida could definitely break that record. Or, you know. No, I don't think Tennessee will beat Florida, considering I used to think Tennessee would beat Florida. I'm not so sure Tennessee could anymore, but Tennessee could definitely rise up and give them a game. And, you know, all you need is some confidence, and all of a sudden things can start going crazy. And then things don't go your way. Marcus, yeah, I haven't seen Marcus Aurelius. I haven't seen him in a while. I think he popped in very briefly in the Lou stream a little bit about a week ago. I think Lou said that he had been in communication with Marcus and that he was having some personal things. Not personal, but things going on in his personal life. And he had to step away, and I certainly understand that. I hope he's okay. But I did see him briefly in one of Lou's streams last week. I haven't seen. I mean, he was co-hosting the main event with me and TK and Carter. And now I don't know what we're going to do about the main event this week. Carter is actually on. Suspension with YouTube. He can't stream. I'm going out to dinner tomorrow night with my daughter and her boyfriend, so I'm not going to be able to host the stream. I could probably host it earlier in the day or maybe on Friday, but I don't know what's going to happen to the main event right now. So I'm hoping we get a show in this week. because there's some good games this week. I want to talk about them. Good. I'm glad he had surgery already. Yeah, when you break your ankle, it's almost automatically surgery to put it back together because there's a lot of stuff moving around in your ankle. Yeah, the Iron Bowl is a big rivalry. It's probably not going to be worth anything this year, though, because Auburn isn't very good, are they? So it's not really much of a game. I mean, I think Alabama is probably going to roll into the SEC title game undefeated. Hopefully, Florida rolls in with just the one loss. You know, if we had actually made just one stop, we might be undefeated right now. All we needed was one stop, one time against the Fighting Jimbos, but we couldn't get that out of our team, could we? Yes. Oh, by the way, glad you're here, Albert. I didn't see you come in earlier. Yes, I do think Florida has a chance to beat Alabama. I think it's perfectly possible. Now, what's got to happen for Florida to beat Alabama is our defense has to show up and play the best game they've played all year. I'll say this. If Florida's defense can play against Alabama as hard as they played against Georgia, we got a shot. But Florida's offense has to come up with points on every drive. Preferably touchdowns, definitely minimum field goals. We cannot leave the field without points on offense. 3 and outs are going to kill us. We might get away with 1 or 2, maybe only 1. We have to score points on every drive. If we score points on every drive and we can stop Alabama a couple of times, which is possible, not probable, but possible, we can win this game. It's going to be the toughest game we've played in a long time. Alabama is damn good. And I guarantee you the Vegas odds are going to have Alabama winning this game. But Florida does have a chance. I mean, they have an offense. Alabama hasn't seen this kind of offense except maybe in practice, quite frankly. So Florida has a chance, yes. We'll see what happens on the 19th. Assuming, of course, the world doesn't come to an end or there isn't rioting in the streets or both teams don't get eat up with Wuhan Red Death. So we'll see. Anything can happen between now and December 19th, right? Let's see. I would agree with Neo. Auburn is not going to win the Iron Bowl this year. Kevin, I don't go on D4's channel. Nothing against D4. I'm not on that channel. He usually is streaming and doing stuff that later than I care to stay awake, quite frankly. Do I have a favorite Gator on this team? No, not really. I mean, I could say the obvious thing, Trask or Pitts or something, but I'd have to say the running backs, all the running backs, because they're doing hard work running the ball with an offensive line that still needs to, mature a little more. But I like our receiving core. I really do. And they're working hard. They're doing all the things they need to do. And this number 6, I forgot his name, on our team I think he's a freshman, maybe a sophomore. He's showing me something. This kid can run the ball. I mean, imagine what this kid could do with an offensive line that could block as well as other offensive lines out there. But this guy, number 6 on Florida, He's something else. But I like our running back group. I really do. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin, two halves of football would be nice. I think that was a problem against Arkansas. We took our foot off the pedal. We took our foot off the pedal against Georgia. Some questionable play calling. Well, not so much with the Arkansas game. I mean, obviously we were scoring points in the second half, but I mean, obviously in the Alabama game, we're going to keep our first team in the whole game unless it. I can't imagine it would become a blowout against Alabama, but barring that, we're going to have our first team in the whole time. We need to constantly keep our foot on the accelerator. We didn't do that against Georgia. And there were a couple of moments there where that game could have been a 6-point game. So Trask cannot have any Felipe Franks moments. And we can't take our foot off the pedal. So 2 halves of football is mandatory. But we're not Georgia, my friend. We're not Georgia. Space Mountain, I hope you're wrong. I hope Alabama doesn't score a TD on every drive. I mean, I would like to think our defense could slow them down once or twice during the game, and that may be all that's needed. Keep them to a field goal. Keep them to a drive that stalls. I mean, Alabama is human. They can make mistakes. You know, make them make stupid penalties. Do things to try to do things that force them to make mistakes. Alabama is not a juggernaut. They can be stopped. It has happened before. But it's going to take 100% effort. But Alabama is not unbeatable. They have lost games. Just not recently. Oh, God. Lou, come on. I don't want to do politics, Lou. Come on, man. I don't do political rallies, Lou. I don't do rallies, period. I mean, I don't do rallies. So, no, Lou, I'm not doing – I don't want to do politics today. Please stop. So, I tell you what, Lou, you should wait until the election is certified and then – you can throw your party then, but wait until it's over. But no, I'm not attending political rallies, Lou. Stop it. Oh, Blue Shirt Buddha is here. One of my watch guys. Don't worry about being late, Blue Shirt. I mean, it's an open door. Come on in. As long as the stream is running, come on in. No problems. Yeah, he's definitely talking to me. He knows. Trump would never be really my first choice in any kind of election, but you're picking between Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. I mean, I wish we could do better. I really do, but it's all we got. Last one, I promise, he says. Do I think 3 reasons that Trump lost is because y'all didn't have enough vote? Maybe. But I tell you something. I have a lot of friends down here in Florida that own boats, and they went to these Trump boat parades that were held around in various places, and they did it. And of course, almost all of them are Trump supporters, but they did it because it was a great excuse to get their boat out onto the water. So they had fun doing it. I mean, but no, I don't think. I don't. I don't think. I don't think Trump lost. And again, not certified yet. Hasn't been official yet. When it's official, then he's a loser. But it don't look good, obviously. But it don't look bad either. Finding new stuff every day. But no, I don't think Trump lost this race because of boat parades or truck parades or car parades or whatever. I mean, I have my theories on why Trump didn't win a second term, but I don't want to go there, man. I really don't. Just, it's over. We can move on now and become the socialist utopia that everyone seems to want. I just hope they don't start rounding up Jews again, but that's another subject. NBA draft tonight, Kevin. No, I'm not looking forward to that. I stopped watching the NBA back in the Bird when the Bird and Magic era ended. That era when it was a team sport and when they emphasized playing defense and when it didn't seem like it was thug ball and everyone was playing for their 10 seconds on Sports Center, when the game was fun to watch, and everyone wasn't so mercenary and free agency wasn't so overt. That's when I watched the NBA. And the NBA I think today's NBA players are bitches, quite honestly. I think if one of these guys, like who's the goofball with the beard? Harden, I think is his name. Real hard guy, allegedly, or Queen James, or was like a Curry. Any of these superstars, quote unquote superstars, if they played in the era that I liked, and one of those fools tried to drive down the middle, guys like Parrish or Lambeer or Kareem or Worthy or Barkley would take their damn head off because they're bitches. They can't hit. They can't take a hit. And I know NBA is supposed to be a contactless game. Bullshit. Guys who drove the lane back in those days, they ended up going up against people who could play linebacker in the no fun league. That was a hard game back then. People took beatings back then. That was a game back. That was man's game back then. Now it's crap. Now it's bullshit finesse. And it's no fun to watch. It's absolutely no fun. Now, this is just my opinion, but the NBA is a shell of its forms. Just like my very favorite sport, the NHL, National Hockey League. National Hockey League is a shell of its former self. The instigator rule came in. You can't hit anymore, really. You might as well put skirts on some of the star players. Big bad Bruins, Bronx, they take some of these teams apart, piece by piece. Guys like Terry O'Reilly, guys like Bobby Orr, Espo, Clark, Schultz, Schmidt, Cam Neely, Ulf Samuelson. They would take the superstars of today's NHL, and they would school them. They'd leave. Some of them would be bloody heaps in the corner. They couldn't hang. Trust me. Now the players today may be bigger and faster and stronger, but they can't hit. They can't take a hit. So, today's professional sports, to me, in a lot of ways, is disappointing. But no, go back to the original question. No, I'm not watching the National Bitches Association draft. I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather watch an endless loop of that 10-second video of Selena picking his nose. No offense, Selena, I love you, but I'd rather watch that in an endless loop than watch the NBA draft. Yeah, Harden. I knew it was Harden. Let's see. Thoughts on Chase Elliott winning the NASCAR championship? Well, I'm happy for the kid, but I'm even happier that Horseface Keselowski or Slogano didn't win, or Kevin Hardick. You know, he didn't win it either. He didn't even make it to the. I was hoping Denny Hamlin was going to win, but he never was in contention in that last race. But Chase Elliott's a good kid. I think he whines a little too much. He's certainly not his father. His father was a little bit more. He drove the car, but don't screw with Bill Elliott. Chase, he whines too much for my taste. I'm sorry that Kyle Busch didn't defend his championship. He did get a win in the year, so actually that makes me happy because he has a 16-year win. He has a 16-year streak of at least one Cup win per year for 16 years. Now, the record is 18 years, held by some guy they call the so-called King. His name escapes me right now. His nickname is the King, but he's not the King anymore. That's 18 years. So Kyle Busch has to win a race in 3 more years, and then he's taken away another record from this so-called King. He already took away the all-time wins record. So, and Kyle Busch just changed crew chiefs to a different guy, and that's going to be a good thing for Busch, I should think. So, looking forward to the 2021 season, but good on Chase for winning the 2020 Cup Championship. He's a good kid. Maybe he'll stop. He'll stop whining. No, Wilkie, I haven't deleted any comments. You're going to have an argument with Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou's a mod, so if anybody deleted a comment, it would be him. But you want to argue with Uncle Lou about whether or not the 2020 election is over? By law, technically, it's not, because no races have been certified. So Wilkie has a point that it's not over, but unless things start happening with recounts and challenges, it's over. So you both have, you're both in a way right and you're both in a way wrong. But if you want to argue with Lou about whether or not the election's over, you argue with him. I'm not going to argue with him. Blue Shirt Brute, a very good point. Nobody knows how to throw a hip check anymore. I actually saw a guy actually throw a hip check during the last season, and the refs actually stopped the game because they thought it was an illegal hit, when the replay clearly showed it was a legal hip check, and they called a penalty, and then they withdrew the penalty because it's a hip check. You idiots. Lou wants to know if I can recommend a Swatch watch. No, not off the top of my head, no. But if you want me to look for one for you, I'll be happy to offline. That's no problem. But let me know if you want me to try and look for a few. But I'm not in the I'm not in the Swatch watch market, so I haven't really looked for one. No, do not get a smart watch. Don't do that. No, I haven't hidden any comments, Wilkie. Honestly, I have not. In fact, let me scroll back through to make sure. I didn't. No, there's no hidden comments through the whole thing. I promise you. Let's see. Yeah, Kyle Busch did not have a good year, Kevin. That's true, but he did get the win, and every driver has a bad just a year where I mean he was in contention for a lot of wins, and something would happen to the car, or in one case he got cut off by a driver 5 laps down, and the second place car passed him because if he didn't, uh, if he had tried to block it, they would have wrecked both cars. So, Kyle Busch had one of those years, man. But we'll see what happens in 2021. Big Dog Brett is here. Hello, howdy, hi. How you doing, Brett? Yeah, it's still overgrown, right? Well, let's see. Let's see. Where are we at now? So, yeah, I mean, Lou, I did a video on my channel about my opinion on smartwatches. It basically boils down for me personally, and I've owned several Apple Watches. I think 6 in total. They're all sold off except for one that actually broke apart on me. It's just that an Apple Watch up until very recently was just an extension of one of these. And I have one of these. I'm very happy with this cell phone. I'm very happy with my iPhone. Now, I know you don't like iPhones and blah, 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 whatever. Pardon me. But smartwatches are just extensions of phones. Now, the more recent ones can be somewhat autonomous, but you have to buy a separate cell phone plan for that. So what's the point? Again, I don't have that. I don't want to burn my money that way. I mean, I have some money, but I don't hate my money that much. So, and I see no function to smartwatches to me, they have no soul. They're cold technology that's going to be outdated. I mean, there are literally people with Apple watches that are no longer supported by Apple. You can't update them. They won't connect to the phones very well. They won't do anything. Now, imagine, if you will, real brief, because I know this is not a watch stream for some reason. Let's say you were one of those people that bought that first generation Apple Watch edition, the one that was 18 karat gold, that was either about what, $11,000 or $17,000. Guess what? The watch is outdated. You can't update it. You can't change the module in it. It won't even connect to the newer iPhones. And it's basically a $17,000 gold watch. I mean, it's a watch, but it doesn't do anything more than a watch, and it costs you 17 grand. And for 17 grand, I could buy 2 or 3 higher end watches, and they won't go obsolete. So, smartwatches, if you want one, God bless you. Go get one. But I stay away. TK's here. What's up, TK? How you doing? I always love to see TK in the comments. Let's see. Blue Shirt Buddha, that's a good recommendation. The System 51 line, that's a good watch to recommend. I like pocket watches, Lou. I don't, you shouldn't, I don't know why you're trolling on pocket watches. Those things are great. I would like to get a pocket watch for myself one day, but I need to educate myself on them first so I don't buy a piece of junk, and pay too much for it. And Neo has no watch at all. Well, that's a lot of people, Neo, but you're missing out. See, that's nice, Wilkie. You have a pocket watch your wife bought you and had it engraved for your wedding gift. I mean, that's great. Yeah, good point, Kevin. Jimmy Johnson had a very long losing streak in NASCAR, and now he's off to IndyCar. I don't know what he's going to do there. And road courses, Albie has a good post NASCAR career, but you know, Albie has a good post NASCAR career, but I don't know what good he's going to do in IndyCar. I mean, that usually the transition between the two series rarely works. I think Tony Stewart is really the only one that ever made that work. Lou thinks that Lou is going to troll God now. God has spoken, and Biden is the winner. Okay, whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Wilkie says God will have the final say, but he isn't done worming yet. I don't know what worming is, but all right. Now let's see. Where are we now? Let's see. Atypical Gump is here. How you doing? Truth Seeker is here. Good to see you here, sir. TK hasn't even said hello to me yet, which disappoints me because I love TK. Chris is here from the Watch Lounge. That's good. Let's see. Who said that? I don't even know who that is. TK, who is that you hit? Who is the user that you hid the message from? I can't see the name of the person. Wilkie says, sometimes I don't even know what I write. I just close my eyes and type. That way it's more real. That's funny. Okay. Oh, I'm going to get the ocean crawler? That's cool, man. I didn't, I've never had an ocean crawler to review, Chris. So thank you for arranging that for me. I look forward to that. I'll definitely look forward to that. Let's see. Tissot Red and Black Sea Star. Yeah, I agree. Lou, I agree with Atypical Gump. The Sea Star is a nice watch. Definitely one you should look at, but it ain't gonna be cheap. Nothing from Tissot is cheap. Nothing from I have rarely seen anything from Tissot that was under $1,000. So, yeah, I know you hit the comment, Tiger Cat, but who was it? I mean, I didn't see the name of the person. Is the name of the person delusional or? Oh, it's $500. I didn't know that. Jeez, I need to brush up on my Tissot then. Or am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Tag because Lou and I were talking about tags yesterday. So now I'm thinking Tag instead of Tissot. Okay. I owned a Tissot. I had a Tissot chronograph. I owned it for about a year. It was a great watch. Ran like a tank. It was a beautiful watch. It really was. Let's see. I am going to put the link into the comment section to see if anyone wants to come in. Come into the Yad if you want to. Also, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Definitely click the thumbs up is always nice. Super Chat is available as well as the link for my PayPal account if anyone wants to do that. Of course, you don't have to. maybe one of the mods could. Well, I'll put it in right now if the system would cooperate. Thank you. I'm gonna put the PayPal link in the chat if any, and then if one of the mods every once in a while could throw that up into the comment section. Not too often, like I don't want to aggravate anybody. Let's see. Oh, Dom, come on, man. that's harsh. Gump, if you wanted to be harsher, you should have said they're as solid as the Georgia quarterback roster. That would have been harsh. It cracked me up. Can't bring back General Voltard, Ballard. He says he won't do it until Tennessee beats Florida, Georgia, or Alabama. Well, they didn't beat Georgia. They didn't beat Alabama. And, well, I don't know. The game has yet to be played, but I'm hoping that they don't beat Florida. Plans for Thanksgiving for me. Well, very simple. Almost all of my family is here in the same place, except for my younger daughter who's up in Gainesville. She's coming down next Tuesday, and she's already had a COVID test. We're waiting on the results. And it's just, simple family get together at my house. I'm making the turkey this year. My mom is making a couple of things. I'm making a few things. And we just have dinner at my house. Very simple. Myself, my mom, my dad, my two daughters, and my older daughter's boyfriend. So, Ballard, I saw you back there a second ago. So very simple family dinner. Nobody's traveling anywhere except for my younger daughter. And that's it.
What's up, Saleen?
Oh, what's up, Mr. Ballard? He with the laugh. There you go.
I brought it in here for you.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
So let's see. Wait a minute. No, I thought somebody was messing with me. So what's going on, Ballard? What are you going to do against Kentucky this weekend?
Probably beat them. I don't know. I mean,
nope.
They're not even. I mean, first off, what's their record right now? They probably only won like 4 games, probably.
Kentucky?
Yeah.
Let me look. Because I don't know off the top of my head because I'm not a professional like Lou or BVD, so I don't have that information.
They've only won 3 games, so they're not pretty good.
Yeah, they're 3-4.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't look good for them, does it?
No.
Where's it? And it's in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that
they're going to bring the bourbon, and they're just going to have to leave it here.
Yeah, I think Florida and Alabama are both going to have the same goals this weekend. Go play the game, get a big lead, get your starters out, and don't get anybody hurt, and survive for the next weekend. And next weekend we have Kentucky, and then we have Tennessee.
Yeah.
So all 3 very winnable games for Florida. The goal is to get to Atlanta with a healthy team. So there you go. I think it's possible. I do think that you're going to be the ones that end up playing LSU on the 12th instead of us.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's a division game, I don't know. Does the SEC allow you to just say why bother? I mean, we've already locked up the West, so why bother playing this game? I mean,
I'm
or
sure the SEC would probably give you the choice. I don't see why that would be a problem. I don't really know, but
well,
I
who
mean, if
gets the
they
choice? Does Alabama get the choice? Does Florida get the choice? Does LSU get the choice? Because the common factor is LSU.
that's fair.
I mean, LSU could literally say, you know, both teams have locked up their divisions.
So what does it
We don't
matter?
want, we don't, we want to play. Do we want to play LSU? I mean, Alabama, or do we want to play Florida, or do we want to not play at all?
Right.
I don't know the answers to these questions. Does anybody know the answer to these questions? Because
I'm trying to remember who I was talking to about this the other day. Um, but we were talking about this and oh crap, it was we were on the morning show when Lou was just doing the news auditions and he was asking me questions about this stuff and I'm like, well, I mean, you got to think about it like LSU and Florida, at least for you guys. Like, do Gator fans see that as a really huge rivalry, like they would like a team like Florida State or whoever? Because like that's
against
your cross
who?
division rival, LSU.
Hmm. I don't see LSU as big a rival. I mean, not compared to Georgia,
Right.
not compared to Tennessee, and certainly not compared to Florida State. I mean, Tennessee and Georgia are bigger rivals than any West team because we're in the East with them,
Mm-hmm.
or they're in the East with us, however you want to put it. So, um, I certainly enjoy beating LSU
Right.
as much as anybody. I would enjoy beating LSU in the Bayou as much as any Florida fan would. But it's like Lou keeps saying in all his streams when Georgia loses to a West team, it doesn't matter because it's a loss that we can take and still keep going, and our
Yeah.
season isn't over. I mean, we lost to a West team this year. We shouldn't
Right.
have, but we
Right.
did. We lost to the Fighting Jimbos, but it hasn't affected our season because and even if Georgia had come in after beating Alabama and we beat Georgia, then we're first place in the East because we have identical one-loss records, but
Right.
we have the tiebreaker. So
Yeah.
and that would have worked in reverse if we had beaten A&M and come in to the cocktail party undefeated. Georgia comes in with one loss and beats us. They're in first place because they have the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Pretty
So,
much.
but that means that both teams can't screw up again. I mean, they both have to win out. But I always say that our biggest rival is Florida State because even though it's an ACC team,
It's in state.
it's an in-state rival, and we are competing with them for prospects.
Yeah.
And we have to compete with Florida State. We have to compete with Miami. We have to compete with the second-tier teams, USF, UCF, FIU, FAU. So we have to compete with a lot of universities with college football teams, but our main competitor is Florida State, and that's why Florida State to me is our biggest rival.
Yeah.
The number one. I mean, it's almost like 1A and 1B with Georgia. I mean, I guarantee you poll anyone in Gator Nation, and they're going to say, who do you want to beat more, Florida State or Georgia? And I guarantee you get a pretty even split. But I always say that I want to beat Florida State more.
Yeah.
Same reason that Lou, Lou's. I keep saying Lou all the time. I'm not trying to be a sycophant. I'm just saying that he has the best examples that I have. Lou always says that the team he hates the most isn't the Gators, it isn't the Vols, it isn't anybody else, it's the Gamecocks.
Right.
Because he had to grow up around these people. He lives just over the border from South Carolina. So he grew up with all these people. And I grew up with all these Florida State. Hell, I got 2 Florida State alum in my family. My mom's brother has 2 sons.
Yeah.
Both of them went to Florida State and undergrad from Florida State. So I got 2 criminals in my family, and I'm the only Gator. Well, my daughter's a Gator, but she doesn't. She's not a football person.
Right. Not like you are.
No, nowhere close. She doesn't understand me, but that's another subject. But I grew up. I have all my high school seemed to either go to Florida or Florida State. All my friends is Florida or Florida State. So, it's the same situation that Lou says. So, he grows up around them, so you hate them the most because you have to hear their fan base the most.
Right.
Now, when I lived up in Atlanta, I was surrounded by Bulldogs. Mm-hmm. So for a while there, beating Georgia was more important than beating Florida State because I had to hear it. How I remember in 97, I think I've told the story before, but in 97, we lost to Georgia after beating them like 3 or 4 times in a row. Georgia finally reared up and beat us. And I come to work Monday morning. My cubicle is filled floor to ceiling with red and black packing popcorn. And tied to my chair were a dozen black and red balloons with the final score written all over it. And I had to spend like an hour and a half cleaning out my cubicle just so I could go to work.
Yeah. Just getting rid of all the balloons.
Well, no, the packing peanuts was the worst thing.
Yeah.
But I got revenge in 98 because we beat him in 98. And I know who did that to me. So I filled her cubicle up with orange and blue packing peanuts and orange and blue balloons. And after that happened, the building manager called us both into his office. And he said, I love college football more than both of you put together, but this is going to stop now. Living in Atlanta, it was more important to beat Georgia. Living in Florida, now it's more important to beat Florida. It's more important to beat them both, but definitely more important to beat Florida State because the future of our program. I mean, we recruit in Georgia too, but obviously the big happy hunting ground in this country is Florida.
Right.
So if you run the state like we do, hopefully you get the pick of the litter.
Yeah. Well, I think for Florida, I mean, you got to look. Florida State is down. Ever since, Willie Taggart, I think, was probably one of the worst coaching hires, not just for Florida State, but in history. And, he really screwed it up. And Mike Norvell's trying to undo what Taggart did, and it's going to take quite a few years to undo all that. And look where Georgia's at. They've won the East 3 years in a row. And Florida's been right there with them 3 years in a row, and now they finally did it, I guess. But, I mean, it's been Florida and Georgia, and, what's been the past couple scores of the what do they call that rivalry with Florida State? I mean, it
doesn't really have a name. It's just Florida State,
Yeah.
And for a while there, it was looking pretty bleak for us, but now it looks even bleaker at the bleakest it was for us.
Right.
It wasn't as nearly as bad as it was for Florida State is now. I mean, I don't think even with maybe Lou would answer this better than I would, but I don't even think at the depth that Florida was a few years ago, I don't think Lou could have made a your program is dead video like he did for Florida State the other
Right.
day.
Yeah.
I don't think Florida's program was in big trouble,
Yeah.
major trouble, but I don't think it was as dead as Florida State's is now. I mean, we had a couple of bad coaching hires, but at least, for 1 or 2 years, both of those coaches did something,
Yeah.
before they completely shit the bed. And I don't give a hell of a lot of credit to McElwain at all, because McElwain was playing with Moose Stump's defense.
Right.
McElwain didn't develop anything. He didn't develop the defense. He sure as hell didn't develop the offense. At least Moose Stump built the defense.
Right.
I'll give him that credit. But he did shit for the offense.
Right.
Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat real quick and make sure I didn't miss anything funny. Pizza Woman's here. I always enjoy seeing Pizza Woman. Slim Mosley, the number one Slim, is here. So thank you for leaving the like for me. I appreciate that. Lou, you would know better if the highest rated recruit on Florida is from the state of Georgia. I honestly don't know. You might be right. Also, Lou did point out the division games will be played before non-division, which means that you're playing LSU, we're not. So you're going to play LSU whether you like it or not, God damn it. So let's see. Let's see. So that's a good question right there. Somebody asked, Pizza Woman asked what Lou's opinion is of Mike Leach. Now, Mike Leach is the head coach of what team?
Mississippi State.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
And Lou's response was, "We'll never succeed in the SEC, but I love his interviews." Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Seems like a good guy, but
Okay, but that's not my point. Now, before Dan Mullen, and everyone can answer this question if you know the answer, before Dan Mullen was the head coach at the University of Florida and the Fighting Mighty Gators, where was he a football coach at for many years?
State.
Mississippi State.
Now,
if follow me. If Leach has no chance in the SEC because he's head coach of Mississippi State, and B, Dan Mullen was the head coach of Mississippi State, then C must be surmised as Dan Mullen never had a chance to succeed, i.e. win divisions, win the SEC title at Mississippi State. Right? I mean, if it's true for one guy, it has to be true for the other guy, right? A plus B equals C.
Yeah. I mean,
which means that this worthless troll of Mullen hasn't won anything. At least he hasn't in Florida. I'll give you that. He hasn't yet, technically, because the division hasn't been sewn up yet. But the part about where Mullen didn't win anything at Mississippi State is conveniently ignored by certain people who shall remain nameless. But that same person says that someone else in the same position can't succeed in the SEC.
Right.
Or is my logic just too infallible? I think I'll just leave that there to marinate for a moment. TikTok Chess Hall is here. I don't do Christmas lights, Chess. That's not my thing.
He's putting up. It's not even Thanksgiving, Chess. What do you? Nah, who am I kidding?
I'm seeing Christmas lights in my neighborhood.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just gonna be honest, man. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to start blasting that music and stuff. I mean, after the crappy year we've had, we deserve this. The crap we've been through this year.
Anyway, I have to actually break out my grandma's menorah and clean it and polish it. So I need to get on that because Hanukkah starts in about 3 weeks. So I need to get on that. I don't want to light up a dirty menorah. Wouldn't be honoring my grandma's memory properly. Well, Chess, if you're putting up Christmas lights, I assume you're doing it indoors because you sure couldn't be doing this and putting Christmas lights up outdoors, could you?
He's probably on the couch doing it. Oh.
Well, thank you, Lou. But I'm open-minded enough that people can talk about Christmas in my stream. Hell, I've even said Merry Christmas to people before and not burst into flames. So, like, Merry Christmas, Ballard. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season.
And same to you. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. And you see, I didn't burst into flames, and I'm assuming Ballard didn't because his camera's off.
Right.
But when
I'm just smiling.
Well, there you go. Now, when I send out my gifts, and I am buying gifts, I'm in the middle of my holiday shopping right now. I send them out with Hanukkah cards. I don't send out Christmas cards because it ain't my holiday. Now, if you want to if you get, and I send them so that they arrive, or I will send them so that they arrive during Hanukkah, which is the 10th through the 18th of December this year. Now, I always put a caveat in my gifts. I say, if you want to open them during Hanukkah, even if you're not Jewish, great, go ahead. If you want to stick them on the tree or under the tree and wait until Christmas, great, that's your holiday. Christmas, I'm going to be with my folks and probably my daughters having Chinese food, which is nice Jewish tradition. Always eat Chinese food on Christmas Eve. That's actually very big in Boston. There's a Chinatown in Boston. You would see a lot of Jewish people there. Every Christmas Eve, we would go down there and have Chinese food. Whole family would do it. We had a standing reservation at a place called China Sales. Really good food, but very heavy on the garlic. I'm still tasting the garlic to this day, and that was like 50 years ago.
Is that good?
Oh, it was very good. I mean, they did traditional Cantonese, which was very good. The whole kitchen staff was from Canton province.
Yeah.
I did drop a link to come into the StreamYard in the comments section. I'll do it again if anybody else wants to join us for a little while, or not.
So is that? I just realized.
My friend Floridian is here. He's Floridian, but he lives up in the Midwest. That's funny to me. How you doing, Floridian? Good to see you here. I didn't mean it to sound that vulgar there, Slim. That's a good point. But I mean, it's covered in wax. You got to clean the wax off. I got to clean out the candle holders so they'll actually hold candles again. And I got to polish the brass. I mean, it's an all brass menorah. It's like 110 years old. I mean, it belonged to my mom's mom, my grandma. And when she passed away, my mom already had a menorah of her own. I didn't have one, so I asked my mom if I could use grandma's, and she said yes, of course. And I remember the first time I took that thing apart to clean it, I was on that thing for 2 hours. I mean, it was just so bad. But now I've got to the point where it cleans up with very little effort. But I'll pass it down to one of my kids at some point. No, when I become too old and decrepit. If I light a candle, I would accidentally start the house on fire, that kind of thing. That wouldn't be good. What do you do for Christmas? What do they do in the Ballard Sports Media household? Let's find out.
Mm. Well,
Well,
we
well, first of all, where will you be? Will you be in Alabama or will you be in
Yep.
Florida?
be in Alabama, going up there for Christmas, visiting grandparents, and then the past couple years we've so my brother and I got rifles last year, and we'll take them up and we'll like shoot targets or get squirrel or whatever, and
Mhm.
so we'll do that. Just open some presents and just have some traditional Christmas foods.
Nice. You do ham or turkey?
Ham.
Honey baked?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really know for
I love
sure what
honey.
kind we get, but that
Oh,
sounds about right.
Wilkie, the polish I use is something called a Cape Cod cloth. These are cloths that are permeated with cleaners and polishes in them. They're usually used for jewelry. I use them for watches and jewelry. It's really good on all the precious metals, and it works great on brass. It's a cleaner. It's a polish. It's really good at removing scratches. You have to be careful with it. But that's what I use. Just basically wipe it on and then polish it out with a microfiber. I've gotten really good at it. Practiced on my watches. I have one watch in particular is very sensitive, so I had to get good at that. I had to get good at that before I trusted myself to polish that watch. Hang on, I'm getting a picture in my text message that I need to look at. Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh, Lou, I like that one. Yeah.
What do you do?
He texted me a picture of a Tissot.
Mm.
Beautiful watch. Hell yeah, I'd own that. I think it's hang on a minute. Let me get a better picture. The picture's actually to see better on my phone. C Star and Lou, if you don't buy that, I will. That's nice. That's nice. Only $420? Lou, you're a fool if you don't buy that one. That's a nice watch. That's a nice watch. Where do you see that for $420? Amazon? You just bought it. Good man. Smart guy. Was that on Amazon? Amazon. Okay. You can get some great watches. And I just bought a watch off of Amazon. It just got delivered yesterday. Really nice heavy duty diver that I've been chasing for a while, and Amazon had the best price on it, so why not, right?
Yeah.
That was my Hanukkah present to myself. I think I bought a watch for myself right around Hanukkah for the past 5 years.
Yeah. This is that I remember I told you I had this Invicta, because I know you've talked about how you don't really like Invictas or whatever.
No.
Too much, but
There are Invictas that I like, and there are Invictas that I don't. Now that one looks pretty good.
Yeah.
That one's one of the non-gaudy ones. I mean, there are some Invictas out there that are like 50 millimeter in diameter that are made out of like cabling. They actually have cabling around the bezel, and the bezel is like this thick, and it's knobby and goofy looking, and really strange looking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. But Invicta bought out a company called Glycine, which is an old European watchmaker, and Glycine has had some positive influence on Invicta for a lot of their watch lines, but they still sell some really crazy looking shit.
Yeah.
But no, there's nothing wrong with Invicta. And the older Invictas are even better. Very collectible, very desirable. Oh, the bet's here. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
No, Bet's a good guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Citizen a good watch? Yes, Citizen is a good watch, Bet. It's a good entry level watch. You can find some you can find some really good entry level watches, really good quartz watches. Some of their automatic entry level divers are very highly regarded. But I always told people, if you're looking for a good all-arounder watch, I mean, maybe not a dress watch, but a good all-around daily driver kind of watch, you can't beat a Seiko G-Shock, Casio G-Shock.
Yeah.
Great watch. In fact, I just ordered one from Japan.
Oh yeah.
No, you can't get it in America yet, but you can get it in Japan. And it will be here in about 3 weeks, roughly.
Gonna do a review on it?
Huh? Oh,
Gonna...
I review every watch I own.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, when I get done here, I got to go shoot a video review on the watch that I got yesterday. And I was just told by my buddy Chris, who was here earlier, that he finished up a review on a watch, and the guy who owns it says send it to me.
Yeah.
So it'll come to me next. And I look forward. I like reviewing watches that I get loaned in. It's really nice to see a watch that, you didn't buy it, you don't own it, but it's a good way to experience it without actually having to shell out like $400 for one or something like that. Well, in the case of the one, he's sending me $1,000, which isn't a bad price for that one. But Lou picking up a Tissot for $420, good deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice looking watch. I think he's going to enjoy that. Because I am the official watch consultant to the Uncle Lou and BVD sports channels.
Mm-hmm.
For all the good it does me, because BVD doesn't buy watches, and Lou only just bought 2 watches in the past 2 days. So
yeah.
But car guys like watches, so what can you do? Yep, they bought a G-Shock. I recommended the G-Shock that Lou bought yesterday. Actually, I recommended to him a whole bunch. I asked him a few questions. He told me what he was looking for, what he wanted, what he didn't. I sent him about what I send you, like about 8 or 9 links of different watches that met your criteria, and he picked the one that I think, of all the watches I sent him, the links I sent him, I think that would have been my second or third choice. Really neat looking watch. Maybe he'll show it when it gets it. Did the watch come in yet, Lou? Or Bet says he's Bet. If you're looking for a dress watch, Orient Bambino. And thank me later. In fact, hang on, Bet. I'm gonna do you a solid here. Hang on for a second, Bet. I'm gonna do you a favor. And Lou says his watch is coming in tomorrow. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, wait a minute. I shouldn't have done that. Orient Bambino. Here we go. Well, depending on his budget and what color he wants. Yeah, that one. No, not that one. No, no. My mistake. This one. Yeah, that one. Okay. Thank you for your patience there, folks. There you go. Go take a look at that one, Bet. Take a look at that watch. Tell me if you think that might be a good dress watch for you. Classic 3-hander, black dial, silver case, $150, $160. Orient makes a fantastic watch, tank tough, and you could wear it every day. Solid watch and a budget-friendly price. I provide a service, my friends. I'm enjoying myself too much. Nobody else wants to come into the stream but you. I don't know if I should be offended by that or not.
I mean, you got a future sportscaster in here compared to maybe some Georgia fans or something, so be proud.
I see. Well, when you make it big at the 4-letter network,
yeah,
and you're on TV every night, I expect you every once in a while to say, "Shout out to my buddy SaleenDriver. He didn't help me get my start, but he's a good guy."
yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people I want to give a shout out to, definitely.
You definitely. You know what you got to do when you become big on ESPN? You got to bring Uncle Lou on the channel. You got to do this kind of thing. You got to do a 2-way video with Lou and DVD.
Yeah,
definitely at the very least. Oh, and probably Chess too.
Now introducing the 2 hosts of the morning show, the morning show, Lou and BVD. And Lou, of course, is just going to come on morning in that, and it's like 5 o'clock on Sports Center or something at night. And
well, that's his thing.
Yeah.
Bet. I just put a link like 2 up from your comment. A good cheap dress watch. Just click that link, the one that says Long Island Watch. Click that link and thank me later. He won't. He won't do it. He might. You never know. Because I've done business with Long Island Watch for several years now, and the owner of that place, a guy named Mark Finkel.
Yeah.
No, not related. He's a former engineer. He actually did defense contract engineer work, and the man is really, really good at watches. He's really good from a technical perspective. In fact, he did a video series which is ongoing called Watch and Learn. There's like 70 odd videos in that series. I learned so much just from watching those videos. I even learned how to take a watch apart watching those videos.
Yeah.
I can't put it back together, but I can take parts of it apart and change things and make things better. Yeah, like this one. Finkel is Einhorn. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Pizza Woman asks a good question for you, Ballard. What network do you want to work for?
The big goal is ESPN. Somewhere over there, it might be SEC or one of the conferences or something. But man, I just want to make it far. At least get into the radio or whatever, or on television somewhere, and just be talking sports.
What if they did another one of those contests like they did that where they ended up hiring Van Pelt out of it? Wasn't he the winner of that
contest? They
did
did a contest to hire someone?
ESPN did. I thought the winner was Van Pelt. So maybe they'll do that again. You should try to enter.
Yeah, maybe.
But probably your best bet, at least breaking in is local radio station
Yeah,
or
that's where start
or
local
going
and
to
then go
college or
global.
something.
You know.
Well, what about going to? I mean, you're not in college yet, but you're going to go, right?
I'm in college right now. I'm in my first year. I'm
Oh,
a
okay.
freshman.
Do they have a
But
radio station?
it's a 2-year degree. It's all online. I'm not sure if they have a radio station, honestly. They actually, I take that back. They do. What's it? We're like the Hawks or whatever. Um, and they do have radio and broadcasting, but because it's all online, you don't go in, or I don't know how I would get into all that, at least this year.
Yep. J Dub's here. J Dub in the house. What's up? Well, maybe you could, local radio stations will maybe let you do an hour on a weekend or something, or
Oh yeah.
late night or whatever. I don't know, do an internship or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't
maybe.
know. It's a field that you have to break into, quote unquote break into.
Right.
So, obviously wish you luck for that. But meanwhile, you can hone your craft doing the unprofessional show.
Oh yeah, that's
On my channel this week, Jess and I decided we would alternate channels each week. So,
Plug it.
yeah.
Well, who's your guest this week? Your guest last week was a 12-year-old.
Pretty much, yeah. We're not sure exactly who it is this week.
I'll get with Chess and talk to him about it, and then as soon as I get information, I will let you guys know.
All right. Well, if you want me to do a pop in, I'll be more than happy to.
Absolutely.
Just keep Unk off the channel, please.
Yeah.
I have issue with that.
Because he's Miami man.
No, it goes more personal than that. I don't want to get into it here. Did you happen to catch that thing that was going on? What was it? Chess and the Misfits the other day?
I did not watch that. I remember him saying something about his show, but that was Monday night, so I had Bible study, so I got home kind of late, and I was tired. I missed his show.
And that show has been deleted, as far as I know.
Oh, I do remember. I think I do remember. Shoot, yeah, because Lou was saying something about it on the morning show just yesterday, I guess. And I remember talking to Chess about it, and he said, don't worry about it or whatever. Or he got with me on it a little earlier or whatever. But
well, I only caught a few minutes of it. In two stints, I caught a few minutes of it. I caught the part where shit went down, and then Chess bombed out of the stream and left the other 4 people hanging.
And then he just out of nowhere came back.
Yeah, and then I went away for a little while, and I came back, and about 2 minutes later, Big Boy pops in, and then just starts, insulting and then deleting each of the other 4 people out of the stream, and then shuts the stream down. And it's like, would somebody please explain to me what I just watched? Yeah. The only reason I popped in there was I was going to pop in there and, my friend's streaming. I go in there to support the channel until I saw Unk in there. And I generally leave when I see him in a stream because I don't want to be bothered. But I hung around just to see if he would do a stupid.
Right.
And he didn't really. But I always enjoy it when somebody who I know is going to do one does one, because it makes me laugh, because I'm like that. And then the whole thing went down, and then I left and came back, and then it went down again. It's like, yeah, huh? I mean, I don't know. One of these days, I got to catch up with TK and find out what all that was about. First of all, and because and J Dub, I think J Dub was in there too. D4 was in there, and Unk was in there. Well, Unk's not going to talk to me. D4, I don't want to bother him. But I just don't know what the hell that was all about, except that I really wish he wouldn't do that again.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cluster. Just an absolute cluster. I didn't understand it. I mean, it's not going to help his reputation any. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Pearson, how you doing today? Glad he showed up. Oh, KC is about to join us. This should be amusing. We're going to have a Florida, a Gator, a Crimson, and now we have one of them dogs.
So, Kevin,
how's it going?
That's all
I'm
right.
good.
You hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying
Just
out
have to
the
look at
microphone.
I just have to look at this Georgia symbol in my screen. It's like, ew.
Yeah, that was a shit show the other night with Chess and the Misfits.
Yeah, what was that all about? I mean, was this a work or was this,
Yeah, he said it was supposed to be like a sitcom type thing or something. I don't know. I said you need new writers. Plus,
I said the one thing about comedy is that first and foremost, it has to be funny.
yeah.
I'm just saying. I thought it was a little harsh with TK there. I thought I thought it was really harsh with TK. If I were him, I'd be worried about my life.
Yeah, you can pretty much tell it was all fake. Everybody was typing in the chat like fake. This is fake.
Oh yeah, the whole chat was saying this is fake. This is a work. This is crap. This is. I told Lou about it. He went back and watched the video. He comes back to me. He says, "Yeah, that was fake."
Yeah.
It's like, well, it felt fake, but still, I mean, even if it's fake, it's just not funny. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, it was kind of like when he did that fake pissed off with Babe or whatever. Why they were mad at each other or something.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think Chess needs to work on his. I mean, this fake thing isn't working. He doesn't sell it good enough or something because in order to make somebody believe that something is real, you have to make them. You have to have suspension of disbelief in order to make it work. And Chess isn't pulling that off really well. It's just whatever. That'll teach me to jump into the middle of a stream, not know what the hell's going on.
I hope we have
Vandy Dandy's here. Vandy Dandy's probably not going to be very happy with me after Saturday. Do you think?
So y'all playing Vandy?
Yeah. I remember last time I went up to I went to Nashville and actually caught a game quite by accident. It was actually at my best friend's wedding. He was living in Nashville at the time. I went to the wedding and the reception started, and it was in a hotel across the street from Vanderbilt Stadium. And I had forgotten that Florida was playing that weekend. Up in Vandy, and I poked my head out of the hotel just to get some fresh air, and I heard cheering, and I said, I looked down at my watch. It's like 12:30 or something, and I said, they're playing football. So I snuck out of the place. I grabbed a ticket. Somebody was selling a ticket cheap, and I grabbed a ticket, and I ended up. I'm in a suit and tie at a football game. Well, at least I was warm-ish. But
You'd be up in the box, the skybox or something with suit and tie.
well, maybe I could have tried that. I thought about it. I should have thought about that. But no, it was a good game too. Florida spanked them pretty good.
Yeah. I don't even know if they have a skybox there at Vandy. What do you
I'm sure. I don't know. I don't remember the layout of the stadium, but I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, there's got to be some boosters at Vandy who throw money at the program. To what end, I don't know. But well, somebody's got to be in the third tier, I guess. I don't know. I thought it would be Arkansas this year, not Vandy, but Arkansas surprised me this year.
Yeah, Arkansas, yeah.
Who's Georgia playing this year? Week.
We playing Mississippi State, I believe.
Yeah, you are. But which Mississippi State? That team is Jekyll and Hyde like no other. Are you going to get
the first game, Mississippi State, when the guy had like 620 something yards passing or whatever? What's his name? Corral or whatever the hell his name is?
Yeah, Corral. I don't know. Where did he come from? Didn't he come from the Pac-12?
I know that they had a transfer from Penn State named like Tommy Stevens. I don't know where Costello came from.
Good to see how many
quarterback they have starting, I think.
Uh-oh. Here comes trouble.
What we got?
Oh, crap.
Secret Service.
Big trouble.
What's up, Walgreens?
Well, good morning, Nat.
Yeah, good morning, though. But normally I just let things go. But there's some things I just can't. I can't let go. I'm not going to be able to hang out. I'm not going to be able to hang out on this channel anymore if this type of behavior continues. But somebody in the comment section, what calls themselves Pizza Lady, is accusing me of trolling. Ma'am, I don't troll. Okay. Now, I don't appreciate the accusatory tone in which you typed that. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't in all caps.
Lou, do you need a hug?
No.
Or a colored book or something?
You know what I need? I need a comfy bear.
Yeah, that's what you do. Well, did you order one?
I did order one for my father-in-law. I can't wait to give it to him. He's going to be big mad.
I don't know why you do that, Lou. Wait a minute. Who lives behind you?
Yeah, my father-in-law.
So you live behind your father-in-law who you're about to piss off.
No, it won't piss him off. He's got a good sense of humor. He is a big-time Trumper, though.
Oh, okay.
But aren't all Trumpers big-time Trumpers?
Don't hurt him too bad, Lou.
No. His feelings are important.
You might put in one of those glass cases like Annabelle or something.
Oh, gosh.
But I don't troll, though.
Well, not here anyway, but Facebook, you're a mad troll.
So that my Tassat will be here Friday.
You want Tissot?
My Tassat, yeah, it'll be here Friday. I never heard of that Tassat before. It's a good looking watch though. But you know me, Saleen, I don't care what the brand is, or honestly, even if the watch works. I just care what it looks like. That was a good looking watch, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was a very good looking watch. It looked like a less busy version of the one that I owned a few years ago.
Right.
Mine was it was NASCAR inspired, actually. Back in the day when I owned it, Dan, I know you don't like her, but Danica Patrick was sponsored by Tissot, and the watch was inspired by her team.
Right.
So,
Instead of telling you what time it was, it told you how fast you were going. I remember that.
yeah, it had a tachometer scale. Yeah,
Of course it did.
yeah, it was a good watch. I sold it because I was trying to fund something else.
I'm just excited to get these 2 new watches in because those will be the only 2 watches I have that work.
Well, the other ones don't work?
No, they haven't worked in forever. I don't use them to tell time, so I don't really care.
What else would you use them for?
Decoration?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like put them on display?
Ballard,
Yeah.
why do you wear a belt?
Hold the pants up. Why?
For it? Why do you? Well, okay.
Well, I
what are you
actually
trying to
wear
get
a
at?
belt and it's functional. So, I mean, I wear a belt because it holds my pants up. I mean, but I know what you're saying. You're
Have you
know.
considered buying pants that fit?
no.
Okay.
I buy pants that are close and then I use the belt to adjust them.
So
Exactly.
you purposely buy pants that are too big, so you have a legitimate reason to wear a belt. Is that what you're saying?
No.
They have room if you eat a lot, I guess.
But some people, like, for example, for me, I buy pants with a 36-inch waist, but my waist is 35 inches. They don't make 35-inch pants. They make 36.
Yes, they do.
Well, I haven't been able to find them, sir.
It's all even.
Obviously not shopping in the right places, but you can buy a 36-inch pair of pants and then put a belt on and tighten them up.
Yeah.
Well, it works for some people, Lou. If it doesn't work for you. Okay, I understand. But a lot of people buy watches for just to wear a watch.
Yeah,
I wear a
that's
watch to wear a watch. I wear a watch to tell time.
I got to run. My kids just got here, but shalom and that.
Shalom and that.
Yeah.
I'm always grateful when Lou at least stops by to show some support for the channel.
Yeah,
because he's helped me out over the time. Suggestions and shout outs and that kind of thing. So that's good. But
Did that Danica watch have a crash meter on it also?
well, Danica was famous for bending up some sheet metal. That's for certain. But she was a pretty good driver. She did well at different levels.
Yeah. I think
When she came to NASCAR, though, they made a big mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She ran like 1 or 2 ARCA races, and then they bumped her into Xfinity, or what was then called Nationwide. Yeah. I think they should have left her in Nationwide for a couple of years and gotten used to driving a stock car.
Yep.
Or you know what? I would have even preferred her to spend an entire season at ARCA, move up to the Truck Series, spend a season in trucks, move into then Nationwide. Now it's called Xfinity, and spend a couple of years in Xfinity. I mean, she was bringing money and stuff into a series that desperately needs it.
Yeah.
And then she could have moved up to the Cup Series. And I think another mistake that she made personally was she was racing for the wrong team in Xfinity and in Cup Series. Well, I think in Cup Series she really didn't have much of a choice, but I think if she had tried to get in with KBM in the Truck Series and spent a year or maybe 2 years working for and learning from Kyle Busch, that would have exponentially helped her career. Because
I think she got rushed up by the sponsors, I believe.
yeah, GoDaddy pushed her to the moon, and they pushed her too fast, too soon. She should have spent a couple of years working for Kyle Busch Motorsports. And love him or hate him, Kyle Busch is the best in the industry, and she would have benefited highly from Ballard. Whatever you're doing,
Yeah, what are you doing over at Ballard?
Thank you. Kyle Busch would have taught her a lot.
Yeah, he brought up a bunch of drivers in his truck.
Yeah. Couple of failures, unfortunately. Can you say Bubba Wallace?
Yeah.
That was a failure.
I mean, he did okay in the truck series if he stayed in the truck series.
Yeah. He ran out of talent after he left Xfinity. And now he's going to drive for Denny Hamlin. I said to myself, Denny, you're pissing money away on that guy. You picked the wrong damn driver.
We'll see how long that lasts.
I give Denny's team 3 years. 3 years. 2 to 3 years, and then Michael Jordan's going to run out of money, and Denny's going to run out of patience.
Yeah, and then Denny's probably going to retire after that.
Well, Denny's getting up there in age, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of guys in NASCAR getting up. Getting up. I think they might be getting ready to retire. Let's see.
Yeah, Harvick.
Harvick, he's in his 40s now. I don't know how much longer he wants to do this. Denny's getting older.
Yeah, Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch, yeah. I wonder how much longer he's going to drive.
Oh, Martin Truex too.
Yeah, Truex is getting up there. Yeah, you got to figure his girlfriend probably wants him to do something else by now.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Didn't Boyer just walk away now?
Yeah, he finally decided to call it quits, I guess.
Yeah, he's going to be up in the Fox booth now.
Yep.
He's a riot. He's going to be good. Yeah, he's going to have a very long life as a commentator for NASCAR. Jimmy Johnson's gone. Yeah, there's a lot of the older guys are within either just retired or within a year or two. I think Kyle Busch will probably go another 5 years and then he'll hang it up.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot different in about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about who's gonna be my next driver after Kyle Busch leaves.
Well, Chase was always my backup driver since he's a Georgia boy, so.
Like I said before, I'm glad he won. I'm mostly glad he won because Slogano and Horseface didn't win the championship, which really would have made me just hate the sport. Just Logano or Keselowski with the title of two-time NASCAR champion. Just
we drove through Dawsonville on the way to Knoxville the other day. But we just missed Chase. Chase showed up there, I guess, later that evening. Did some burnouts in Dawsonville. So
I remember going to Dawsonville a few times when I lived in the area. Car shows mostly. Nice little town. I forgot the name of I forgot the name of the place, but it was like a little restaurant there. Pretty good food too. I can't remember the name. Pizza Woman. I don't dislike D4. I don't know D4 good enough to dislike him. I mean, I've talked to D4 a few times on streams and stuff. He seems like a good guy. Big guy. Jesus, he's huge. But I got nothing against D4. But I do have big issue with Unk. And it ain't about the fact that he's a Hurricane fan or that he lives in Miami or whatever. It's personal, and I don't really want to go into it, but it got personal, and I don't care for the guy. So, but D4 I got no problems with. I'm sure I'm actually looking forward to meeting D4 at the Slav Olympics. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people at the Slav Olympics.
Yeah, what was that like about 4 more months or so?
Yeah. About 4.5 months. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think we're staying at the Omni Hotel.
Now let's see. Well, Vandy asked a good question. Would I rather live in Miami or Naples? Naples. But I don't live far from Naples. Naples is about an hour and a half south of where I live. And where I live is very similar to Naples. Naples is a little warmer than where I live in Florida. But I wouldn't live in Miami. I lived in Miami from 1972 to 1979. My family lived in Miami. I lived near Vizcaya, the big mansion up there. I lived in Coconut Grove, and it was really a nice place. And I visited Miami twice since we moved, and Miami is not a place for me. No.
You got some good Cuban food, though, right?
Oh, great Cuban food, fantastic Cuban food, and other. I mean, Miami is a wonderfully diverse and very mixed city now, with good food and probably tons of good people. But there are parts of Miami that you wouldn't want to be caught dead in, or you would be dead.
You got that 48 hours does episodes there.
And Miami has big problems. They have big traffic problems. They have growth problems. It's not a place that I want to. I mean, I'm too old to live in those kind of places anymore. I got better things to do with my time than sit in traffic.
Oh yeah.
Naples is a hell of a lot prettier city than Miami. I mean, Naples is gorgeous. And a lot of money in Naples.
Ever been down to the Keys?
A couple of times.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's very touristy. I live in Florida. I live in the tourist capital of the country, other than maybe Vegas. I live where I live now. I live 15-minute drive from the beach. I live a 15-minute drive from the #1 rated beach in the entire world. I don't go. I got no reason to go to the beach. Beach is sand. Beach is inconvenient. Beach is messy. Leave that for the tourists.
Yeah.
I live a 2-hour drive from Disney World. I maybe go once in a while, once every few years, just to say I've done it. I live an hour's drive from Busch Gardens, Tampa. I live within a good, easy drive of pretty much any tourist mecca you can think of in the state of Florida. And there's no point. I mean, Key West is an island surrounded by water, full of drinking and eating joints and a beach. Oh, yeah. I can go over to Siesta Key or Longboat Key or KC Key or Minnesota Key or St. Armand's Key or Lido Key or Anna Maria Island and get the same atmosphere that I would at Key West, and I'd save myself a 6-hour drive. So, when I go on vacation, like I did last year, about this time last year, I headed north. I went into the mountains of Carolina and Tennessee with my Saleen buddies, and drove like maniacs all over the mountains. Because I don't have mountains in Florida. I don't have changes of season in Florida. I don't have cool weather in Florida. I don't have the colorful trees and such things. So I go out of Florida to see things. People come into Florida to see what I see every day.
Yeah.
It's all a matter of perspective. If you lived in Gulfport, Mississippi, are you going gambling? No. You see that every day. You leave that for the tourists. You go somewhere else.
Right.
Yes, Junkyard Dog. Kevin and I made peace. It was classic overreaction on my part, and his wife sort of, vision of what is the word I'm looking for? Virtually grabbed me by my shoulders and said, "Stop it, grow the fuck up." Vandy asks if I see lizards dropping out of trees when it gets cold. Actually, I have. When it gets down into the 30s here, which it does for maybe a day or two, you will see lizards falling out of trees. Yeah. It's the strangest thing you ever saw. This lizard all of a sudden will land on your head, and it hits the ground, and he's literally like this. He's unconscious or something. But no, Kevin and I made nice. So I overreacted. I'm not going to speak for what Kevin thinks, but I overreacted, and his wife sort of made me see that, and I said, you're right. So,
yeah. Well, everybody get annoyed with that hashtag thing, I guess. But.
Well, that's part of why I did it too, admittedly. I mean, I do some shit on here and on other, not here, I don't want to get, well, even here, but I do shit online to annoy people because, the same reason that Lou does it, the same reason that BVD does it, the same reason that Pigskin Pete does it, or Big Dog Brett, just having a little fun, tweaking people. Sometimes I take it too far. So guilty. But it is now 3:00 where I is. I don't know what time it is where you is, but it's 3:00 where I is, and I got a couple of things to do before dinner time.
Yeah, I gotta go pick my wife up. She just texted me to come pick her up at 3:30. About a 20-minute ride.
All right. Well, I thank you for coming on, though, sir, and I'm glad that we made nice with each other, because it's better to have friends than enemies.
Until next year for Florida.
Yeah, then we'll block each other during the Florida-Georgia run-up.
All right.
Maybe we could win 2 in a row. You never know.
Well, it's been going 3-3-3 the last, 12 years or whatever.
Yeah, I could live with winning 3 in a row. That would be nice.
But we'll see. Anyway, y'all have a good day.
All right,
man. Thanks for stopping by, man.
You out of here, Saleen?
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta get some stuff done. So,
all right.
Thank you for stopping by, Mr. BSM.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
All right, guys and gals. I thank you all for coming and spending another couple hours with me on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm sorry I was late today at 1:00 instead of noon. I will. Well, let's see. Next Wednesday is my daughter's birthday, actually. Jesus, she's going to be 23 years old. That's my firstborn, my baby. My baby going to turn 23 on the 25th. My. I am old. I have a 23-year-old daughter. I'm old. What can I say? Anyway, I suspect I will be on here. If I'll set up a stream. If something happens, I'll let you all know. Anyway, before everybody leaves, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this later, please click that thumbs up button for me. It does help the channel. comments, questions, and suggestions below. I will read them all. I will respond to them all. But if you are going to be a nasty little cuss, or you're going to leave links to black, what do they call them, dark web sites that will get my fine viewers in trouble by clicking on them, I'm going to delete the comment so that it's not seen. And I'm going to block you so that you're not seen anymore. That's just the way it is. I try and run a clean-ish channel here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that when I do go live, you will be alerted to these things. Like I said, I appreciate folks like Ballard and Steve and Pizza Woman and Uncle Lou and Vandy Dandy and the Bet and Junkyard Dog and my man Kevin Cook, who I have made peace with, and I'm happy about that. And I shouldn't have done what I did back then, and I apologize for my overreaction. And Mr. Sancho, and who else? J-Dub was in here. Floridian was in here. Blue Shirt Buddha was in here. All the folks that stopped by. I appreciate you guys for stopping by, supporting the channel, keeping this old man company for a little while on a Wednesday afternoon. I'll see you again real soon. Have a good rest of the week.